Hi. So here again. Um, so this week, uh, just an update on, it's December 5th, so National Novel Writing Month. November is over. And I did finish revising my book, the first book, by the end of November. I did get that done. So I'm happy about that. And I've started revising the second book. So we'll be doing that in December. So we'll see how long it takes me to do that one. I was kind of hoping to try to get two books done in November, but I got one done in November. So now so these are my books 2 and 3 in my The Fairy Princess series. And I don't know if you can hear that. My neighbors are listening to very loud music right now. It's coming up through the floors. But yeah, from the Fairy Princess series. And trying to get those two books out to you as soon as possible. Definitely want to have them out before spring. So if I can have these revisions done by the beginning of the year, I think that's very feasible to have them out by spring. I will keep you updated on the progress and how things are going. So everything that we've been watching has stopped. So I started watching some new shows. I started watching Titans, and I found out that they're up to episode 6, but I've only gotten up to episode 3, and it's been very gruesome so far. Very, very gruesome. And there's a familiar face this season. I don't know you Vampire Diaries or the original watchers, the originals watchers. Niklaus Mikkelsen is on this year, playing some very meek and mild character who's like a victim of this woman who I'm guessing they're calling Mother Mayhem. And so it's up to the Titans to help him before she uses him or kills him. So it'll be very interesting to see how that goes. Like I said, I'm only up to episode 3. I'm gonna watch. So by next week, I would have seen the rest of the episodes. So we'll see what see how things are going along with that, with him, how far his character goes. And it'll be very interesting. Also, I watched Willow, and they put out the first 2 episodes of Willow. So that was I feel like the strangest thing, the second episode felt slower than the first. I felt like a lot more happened in the first episode than the second. The second episode, I felt like they were just, I don't know, they were stuck in one place and they didn't really do much. Whereas in the first episode, they were doing a lot of moving around, a lot of things happened, somebody got kidnapped, there was like fights, and you had all this exposition going on and introducing all these characters, and all this backstory got dropped on us. So a lot happened in the first episode. And then you get to the second episode and it all comes to a dead stop. While we stop and try to teach this chick magic. So it I don't know. I like the first episode. The second episode, like I said, very slow. So I have to keep going. I'm gonna keep going because I remember the movie Willow and I liked it as a kid. And I'm kind of sad that Mad Mardigan is not on there. Although I kind of hope that he could make um, a cameo because I know he did for what's the movie with Tom Cruise? Lord Jesus, the Air Force movie with Tom Cruise. I can't remember the name of that movie. It's coming out on streaming soon. But the Air Force movie with Tom Cruise, you know what I'm talking about. Val Kilmer was in that movie, also in the 80s. And they managed to have him do a cameo. And I think they did some they had him do it and they did some strange, not some strange thing, but they did a voiceover. Someone else did his voice. So probably his son. And so they were able to work out a cameo for him. So I was like, it would be nice if he could get a cameo in Willow the same way so we could at least see Mad Mardigan. Because they're not saying he's dead. They're saying he's alive and out there somewhere. He just left. So they're leaving the door open for Mad Mardigan. So kind of hoping for this cameo. Uh-oh. Okay. Somebody is spamming my chat. Sorry. That was crazy. Okay. But so what's I talking about before I was rudely interrupted by the chat? The spam in my chat. Oh, yes, they leave the door open for, a cameo down the line. So I'm hoping that that's what happens. But I definitely enjoyed that. So, and then I also watched the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. I've been watching a lot of Christmas movies. I watched a lot of Christmas movies this weekend because Lifetime has put up tons of Christmas movies on YouTube, and a lot of them stars Tatyana Ali for some odd reason. So I've been watching a lot of Tatyana Ali Christmas movies, Lifetime Christmas movies. I spent my weekend watching Tatyana Ali Christmas movies. They were very interesting. And they were fun. There was one, Dear Secret Santa, that was very much like the lake house. And when you get to the end, it is almost beat the lake house. But I still liked it. Even though it's pretty much the lake house with Black people and Christmas time. That's pretty much it. It's interesting though. I liked it. But yeah, so I watched the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special, and that was cute. This light is getting worse and worse. That was cute. It was it was interesting. I found it interesting that they did not sing any traditional Christmas songs at all. Like all of the songs, Christmas songs were original. And of course, whenever I see something like that, my mind immediately goes to who wrote these songs? Who wrote the songs that they're performing, that they performed on this show? Because it wasn't just like, music playing in the background. They actually performed these songs. So I'm like, who wrote all this? But it was cute. You learn some very important information for a special, for it to be an offshoot special. You learn some important information outside of the movies. So I'm like, I wonder if, of course, they're going to have to reiterate this in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. But, I wonder, are they going to sort of, it's like for people who go and watch the movie, if they haven't watched this special and they just sort of act like this information, that you learn in this special, like, act like it's known information all of a sudden in this movie, it's probably going to confuse people. So are they going to reiterate it? Are they going to make mention of it? Like, how are they going to bring this information into Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is what I'm thinking of. Yeah, so, but I like that. I liked it. It was cute. It was hilarious. I liked they had a song where the aliens was trying to, figure out what Christmas was. And it started off nice and it just went left and made it seem like all of our Christmas traditions are just absolutely weird. And I think at some point in the song, they just said humans are weird. But yeah, so those are my thoughts on Guardians of the Galaxy. But I also because we have some news about HBO Max, some HBO Max news. So we all know about Batgirl being canceled. Well, the Batgirl directors said they'll still work with Warner Brothers despite the cancellation. And of course, there's an article about that. Let me just share the article. Okay. So, Batgirl directors on becoming part of movie history due to cancellation, why they still work with Warner Brothers. Bilal Fala, I got these names. I got the pronunciation of these names and I've already forgotten them. I think it's Bilal Fala and Adil El Arbi. Close. Discuss the fallout from the controversial scrapping of their $90 million superhero feature and the huge outpouring of support they've received from across the industry. There are upsides and downsides to having a film you've been hard at work on be abruptly shelved at the last minute by a number-crunching studio boss. Two filmmakers who can attest to this are Adil El Arbi and Bilal Fala. directors of the DC Universe entry Batgirl, which in August became the highest profile casualty of David Zaslav's cost cutting at his newly combined Warner Brothers Discovery when it was unceremoniously canceled while in post production. With a budget of $90 million, the movie is considered among the most expensive cinema projects ever to be assigned to the scrap heap. For the two Belgian directors who first made a mark with the explosive 2020 smash hit Bad Boys for Life, there was obviously a huge amount of disappointment in not being able to share their work alongside their cast and crew, including the likes of Brendan Fraser, J.K. Simmons, Michael Keaton, and lead star Leslie Grace, who plays Batgirl. I want to see this movie. You've got to imagine we're two fanboys, and for 1 second, we were in the Batman universe, following in the footsteps of Zack Snyder and Christopher Nolan. Then it was just like we woke up and it was a dream, says RB, speaking from the sidelines at the Red Sea Film Festival in Saudi Arabia. But then for all the sorrow at seeing their chance of becoming part of the superhero world snatched away at the 11th hour, they say the amount of positive reactions they personally received has been hugely gratifying. It was unbelievable how much support we got. There was, says Fowler, noting that the likes of James Gunn and Edgar Wright reached out to them, along with studio execs from Paramount and Sony, and even Marvel's Kevin Feige. There was so much support from people in the industry. It felt like all the artists were supporting us, and that's a great feeling because you feel like you're not alone. Yes, especially because two of those artists, Kevin Feige and James Gunn, can give them jobs in the future. Also, given that Batgirl's cancellation was somewhat unprecedented in terms of its size and the manner in which it took place, while Arby and Fowler's name are yet to be carved into superhero folklore, they have been added to the Hollywood's lengthy and colorful annals. This is something that never happened before, so we've kind of become part of movie history without even trying. Although a secret screening of Batgirl took place on the Warner Brothers lot for the cast and crew, RB and Fowler note that they couldn't attend. They were in Belgium at the time, and that the version shown wasn't their latest edit, but somewhere in the middle. The film's cancellation actually happened just as they entered the first stage of the editing process, with still plenty of work left to do to get the feature finished. Okay. So, given the experience with Batgirl, with the two work with Warner Brothers Discovery again, yeah, we'd still work with them, says Fowler, but on the condition that the movie comes out. I mean, if Warner says, do you want to do the next Batman or Superman? Of course, we'll say yes, just so long as the movie comes out. On that note, while Gunn reached out individually to offer his support, there hasn't yet been a more formal meeting with him since he's been installed as DC Studios co-CEO. But the meetings are in the books, says RB. And that's all I really wanted to know. So they are. So basically, they are open for it because it looks like it's a possibility. And they will be working with James and not David. So and I feel like they probably have a lot more faith in the project with James at the helm and not just David Zaslav. Because who would have faith in that man? No one would have faith in him. So yeah. So that's it for the Batgirl Directors. They may be doing another movie with Warner Brothers in the future. We'll never know. We'll see. But that is all for today. I shall see you on next week. Well, I have a video coming out this Friday. Not sure what video that will be, but I have one coming out this Friday. And then I'll see you next week and we'll talk some more about Willow and Titans.